Death came in 22 minutes tonight for a man accused of killing two people 21 years ago.
Willie Trottie was the 8th person executed in Texas this year.
And in a different twist to this story, our Isaiah Carey was chosen as a witness for the execution in Huntsville.
Willie Trottie was pronounced deceased at 6:35 p.m.
It was 2 weeks ago when I first met Willie Trottie, the death row inmate convicted of killing his common-law wife and her brother in 1993 was still fighting to stay alive.
The guy that did my trial also handled my direct appeal. And here it is in 2005, he signs an affidavit saying that he didn't believe my case was self-defense. If I know you felt that way, you would have never been on my trial.
Wednesday evening, Trottie was on a gurney with 2 IVs in his arms here at the Huntsville unit. I watched as a lethal dose of pentobarbitol was pumped into his arm at 6:13. But just 1 minute before, he said his final words to his family and the family of the victims.
I'm going home to be with the Lord. I'm sorry. Stay strong. Jesus, take me home.
It was the most remorse Trottie had shown since I first met him. While being housed at the Polonsky unit, he said he was sorry, but it did not carry as much emotion as his attempt to get a last-minute stay of execution.
My attorney was my advocate. He sold me out.
I walked with Trottie's family into the death house as a media rep to the execution, an experience that was surreal at best, but more peaceful than I thought. That facade of peace in my eyes as Trottie closed his was actually more pain for 2 families. Barbara and Titus Canada, the 2 victims in this 21-year-old murder case, was represented by their family at the execution. They shielded their faces as they left and declined to speak with the media, understandably.
I'm glad to see justice is finally served all these years later. It's time for our family to end this chapter and to be able to move on.
The heavy emotion of the day was just too much for one witness who fainted outside the prison. That's while Trottie's last worldly possessions were being loaded and taken away by his family. The 45-year-old's end came in 20 minutes, despite a last-minute appeal by his attorneys, claiming the lethal dose was old and may not work. As it goes here in Texas, Trottie was this week's headlines. Up next week, Lisa Ann Coleman, a female who will be executed. Isaiah Carey, Fox 26 News.